I'm going to show you how to build a Shopify website for clothing brands in 2026. This video is going to be a full updated guide showing you not only how to build the website, but why it's built that way and how to have a high converting website that not only impresses your customers, but also gets them over the finish line so most of your customers actually buy and check out. My name is Fred Sanders and I own an agency named Sanders Consulting that operates about 100 clothing brands that are doing profitable numbers anywhere between 10, 50, 100, all the way up into brands like this that's doing close to $30 million a year. It's safe to say I know websites. And in this video, I'm gonna break down exactly how I would build a website if I was just starting out from complete scratch without trying to sell you anything inside of this video. If you wanna work with us one-on-one, you can apply for that link down in the description where we help one-on-one brands scale by running ads, websites, different products, etc. You can apply for that link in the description. But let's jump into this video. So first things first, you wanna make sure you create an account with Shopify. Now, you can use our free link in the description for that. Shopify, if I can talk a little bit about it. Shopify is just one of those websites that just has it all. I wouldn't promote this if I just didn't think, and I've seen, different websites from Wix, Squarespace, all in between and different brands that use it. And personally, I just see that Shopify actually, their marketing is they have the best checkout. And I've just seen that they have the best checkout. It's the smoothest UI, it's the simplest and easiest, and you can build the most advanced, high-tech looking websites that don't look like they were thrown together. They look like they're actually professional, and brands that are doing millions and billions are on this website here. You can get a free trial at the link in the description from YouTube. Since we're sponsored by Shopify, you can get a free trial for that, or you can get 3 months free, I believe, for just $1. So if you want to try that and try that out, I would go try that out, link in the description. Now let's talk about Shopify themes here. Now I'm not going to cover how to sign up with Shopify because it really is that simple. You enter your name, your business, and you're pretty much at this page right away. So it's super simple and super easy. We're going to cover everything else besides that. So the first thing you need for the website is obviously going to be that online store. Now there is a ton of website themes that you can try out, and I would recommend you go out and figure the one that you feel is the best for your particular niche of brand, because obviously everyone here is going to have a different niche. There's streetwear, there's high fashion, there's high heels, there's everything, right? The one theme that I've seen that is really good, just versatile, it looks super professional, and I have a lot of my own clients personally that I'm working with use, is a theme that's actually free. Now you can actually pay $500, $300, $1,000 for a theme. The theme that I'm talking about is actually free and it doesn't look like it. Like I said, very professional. And it's this theme right here. It's the Horizon theme. I would recommend trying it out for yourself, and I'm gonna build the website that we're talking about in this video just based on this structure. You'll start to realize once you start building themes, a lot of big brands that are doing millions are built on this theme right here. Now, if you want a list of more paid themes that you can try out, go ahead and comment the word website right now, and I'll send over a list of more paid themes that you can try out that may potentially be better than Horizon if you don't want to try the free version. But the free version is pretty cool, and it's what I would recommend. So boom, you can see here, just click add. It's gonna go in, click on edit theme, and you can see just how you kind of start off with a really good basic structure here that just looks really good and professional almost already from scratch, and you haven't even tried to do anything yet. Now, the next thing we need to do is set up the actual product. We can't make a website if we don't have products that look similar to this. The website theme's not gonna matter until you have those products to actually show off. Now, I'm gonna start all the way from scratch. If you already have product images, if you already have all your products and stuff set up, then you can probably skip about 1 minute and 30 seconds into the video. But I'm gonna start all the way from scratch from people that may not have the best product pages or may wanna optimize their product pages, and people who wanna do it as best as possible from complete scratch. Now, when you're first starting off with your website, the most important thing about starting off with the product is the actual product image itself. So how do you get those high quality images? Well, first you can go out and pay a photographer, $300, $400, $500 to take a bunch of high quality images, or you can leverage AI softwares out there right now that make indistinguishable product shots that you can't even tell if it's AI or not. I know which one I would choose, and I know which one we do for our brands and our clients' brands all the time. We're leveraging AI. So one really cool AI that I'm going to talk about inside of this video is an AI that just kind of does it all. Not only does it do those cool little product shots that we're going to be talking about in this video, but it does more things. I would check it out on your own guys' time. I'm not going to talk about this, but it's getdokimi.ai. We're going to be talking specifically about these guys in this generate tab. Now, I've seen that this is the highest quality images for clothing brands specifically, and it does the best at what I'm talking about here specifically. So if you go here, they already have a section that's specific for this. Click on this product tab and you can go in and you can already see we can make amazing product shots. Here's an example. And we can do all sorts of ones. We can get a front, we can get a back, we can get a close-up, right? We can get a model shot. You want to get a good arrangement of product shots so that your clients and customers can look at the product at all different angles and make sure they actually want it before buying and entice themselves to actually want to buy it. And that's what you're going to use for Dokimi. Super simple and easy to use. Let's say I wanted to make a front of this here. So let's say all I have to do is just click on my favorited product and I can go, now make me a front version of this hoodie, and it's gonna get it done in about 15 to 30 seconds and extremely cheap rates. So boom, you can see that it made the front version of this hoodie, which has the dove on both sides of it here. Now we can go in and say, hey, I don't want the white background, or I can go onto surfaces and I can choose, maybe I want a concrete or marble or turf. I probably would keep the same kind of, angle shot going. So maybe I want to click on the hanger shot and the dove hoodie, and I want to say, now make me a front version of the hoodie. I'm gonna say the same thing, but now I want it on this hanger shot. And you see here, it's able to generate that front version of the actual hoodie, which if it ever has any mistakes or anything, can go back and say, hey, you can reference this and say, hey, by the way, don't forget the dove. It's still AI, so it's not, quite there yet. So close. And as you can see, it's indistinguishable from real life or not, but it's still AI. You have to sometimes mess around with it. So I may have to go back and say, hey, don't forget the dove, or hey, et cetera, to really make it perfect. But you can see just from like the lighting, there's shadows, there's wrinkles in it. You can't tell that it's AI. And I just generated this in literally 2 minutes with a little bit of better prompting and some actual time and energy. I can get a full product image catalog that I can use for my product images without ever taking a photo shoot, which is exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna click on products right here, and then we're gonna go on to add product. And this, you wanna call it the name of the actual hoodie. So like whatever you're naming it. And then typically you can follow it up with, t-shirt, and then some SEO things that make it better for like SEO for Google. So you can say like organic, cotton. If it is organic cotton, let's say 100% organic cotton, heavyweight shirt, right? Just like really good SEO things or descriptors about your actual product so it could actually boost its SEO on Google itself. Same thing for the description. Just go in and do an actual like bullet point list of the actual product. And I would do it just like this. I would talk about maybe the size to fit, right? I may talk about the material, right? I may talk about the size chart, right? I may talk about any kind of value boosters that I have. So for instance, rhinestones or any of those kind of things. I'm not going to go too in detail. You guys get the point. From here, we're going to upload those images that we just downloaded here. So boom, you can see we have our product images here. We have a front and a back. We'll make it even better. Maybe put a couple of model photos and shots. Again, you can do that in Dokimi. If I go to the model section, I can go out and maybe I want to include, a couple of these images right here as well. So boom, you can see when we click on and a customer clicks on, they're going through. This stuff looks real. It doesn't look like AI, especially when they get to the model side. It just looks super high quality. Now, the only thing you want to make sure is obviously that the product is consistent. Since I'm just blowing through this, I'm not going through and saying, hey, do this, do that, and like changing little small things and paying attention to detail, but that's all things that you would do. Now for pricing, I'm not gonna cover pricing in this video, but again, if you wanna work with us one-on-one, we'll let you know exactly how to price your products, but set a solid price that, isn't too out of the ballpark, but is at an actual competitive price as well. From here, you can go in and add things like the different variants of colors, make sure you add, the sizing. You can even talk about the shipping and how, the more specific details. One thing that I would recommend is make sure you click on this edit tool right here. And again, you can just make sure that this URL handle has that built in for SEO. Again, it's going to be really good for SEO. And again, you can go in and add that meta description and page title with some more additional things that you can include here if you don't want to put it on your actual title. Again, just to increase that SEO. If someone just searched up some sort of shirt or hoodie like this, maybe your product pops up in the first place. So you'll do that for as many products as you have. Again, that product image is super important. But let's talk about building out the homepage. Okay, now the homepage has a very simple structure that I'm going to talk about in this video. And again, we're going to use Dokimi to kind of get this jump started and going. So you see here, we're pretty much going to roll with this homepage structure right here. One thing about the website homepage you have to understand is if you have a good website, the goal is to convert them on the product page and not necessarily the homepage. Okay, the homepage is definitely there as a supporting factor, but most of the time the homepage is going to be used to find other products. So you don't want to have a very, all these different videos and talk about the brand all on the front of the homepage. You just want a super simple video and then just like a discovery so your customers can go find other products. Because realistically, that's the only reason the customer would go to the homepage from a product page, is just to go find other products that were similar or see what else you guys offer. But they don't want to be blasted by, a bunch of pop-ups and videos and all this other stuff that ultimately would end up making your conversion rate go down. So what we want to do is just have a banner like this, a headline title, and then just rip straight into the bestsellers like similar. And then you can end it off with a footer to your email list if you want to build that SMS and email. So to build out this banner right here, I would just do some sort of branded image that I'm going to show you guys here with the Dokimi here. So we can, throw something up like this or this, but I would personally go out with something a little bit more professional. So I'm going to say, make me a banner for a homepage with a few models sporting my @Dove hoodie. And you can tag and @ your products, which is really good, and make it professional and on brand. And I'm just going to say something simple as that. Let's see what it comes up with. It's most likely to come up with something that's really cool. So boom, you can see what Dokimi came up with. Again, it looks like a homepage image. One thing I don't like is the text. So what I'm going to do is use as a reference. And I'm also going to go and make sure I change this to a landscape. So I can change the actual picture orientation to kind of fit. And I want this to be a landscape. I feel like the homepage is going to look better with the landscape. Now remove the text. We're going to have the same picture in landscape, but we're going to remove that text for the homepage banner. So boom, we can see right here that it came up with this nice landscape image. Again, you can go through and make this as good as you would like it to. But again, I'm going through 30 seconds and just building out a really cool website here. So I'm going to go ahead and upload this image right here, and I'm going to get this going. So boom, we can see right here that landing page banner image looks really nice, and we can leave it as saying browse our latest products, or I would recommend you putting your actual slogan for the clothing brand. So whatever that is, let's say this is a Dove hoodie, fly by senses, I don't know, whatever your clothing brand kind of logo is, or like some punchy kind of logo slogan would be great right here. Or you can just say shop our newest collection. If you can't come up with anything that's punchy or anything like that, you can always just say shop our newest collection and then have this shop now button route to that newest collection. Again, the homepage is supposed to be overly simple. We want a banner page, and then right immediately we want to go into this actual collection page so we can get customers to look at and buy more products. So that covers making the actual homepage. Now we're going to go on to the next part, which is the most important part. This is the actual product page itself. This is one of those things that if you make it properly, your customers aren't going to ever see what the rest of the website looks like. They'll never go to the web page because they already bought your product and they're already ordering. If you make this part right, customers should buy, and it should be a thing. It should be a good thing that, hey, my customer didn't look at the rest of my website because they already bought my product because the product page was so good. So let's hop over into the actual product section here. I'm going to go on to default product, and we'll pick it out. So I'm obviously going to start off with the little preview image that we have for ours here. And we're going to go in and we're going to start off with the product page, and we're going to build it out together. So the first thing that you need is to understand that product pages, just like the home page, should be simple, right? But there's going to be a few little things that we want to make sure are included so it has everything it needs to convert and get the client to buy. Now, the thing about product pages to understand with any kind of website is the goal is to solve for objections. So to solve for the reason why a customer wouldn't buy. In the clothing niche, it's pretty simple. That lies somewhere in between what the description is. So maybe the sizing, maybe, what it feels like, how to wash it, things like shipping, and possibly even returns. If they wear it, they don't like it, what happens next? So we want to go ahead and talk about those objections in what I call 3 columns. So here you can go to add section here, and depending on whatever theme you're using, it may sound a little bit different. It may be called drop downs, collections, whatever you need, but just find these 3 columns that I'm about to pop up. So for this theme, it's actually the FAQ. They don't have their own with just this without the FAQ. So for this one, it's the frequently asked questions tab. So for this one on the product information, I'm gonna go ahead and turn off details, because I'm gonna put all those details, or I'm sorry, I wanna turn off the product description, because I'm gonna put all that description stuff in this description. So on the FAQ part, I'm gonna go ahead and delete this heading here, and I'm gonna add 3 rows here. I'm gonna delete just 3 here, and I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna put 3 rows. This first one, I'm gonna name it description, then shipping, and then return. So boom, just like such. Now I have descriptions, shipping info, and returns. So boom, we can see the product page is already coming together. Now on this description side, we wanna make sure that the text behind it is basically what we put in the description for the product images. Now I can give you an example of what this should look like. So to give you an example, we're talking about small bullet points that look similar to this. So right, we wanna make sure that they're bullet pointed and it has everything that we need. You can always go to one of your clothing brand websites that you like. 9 times out of 10, they're gonna have these small, short, punchy bullet points, not like long, big descriptions. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this, go back into Dokimi here, and I'm gonna go back to the design tab and chat side. I'm gonna add this Dove hoodie and say, rewrite this, but use the info for the Dove hoodie. And then I'm just gonna paste that. So boom, we see here, it gave me that thing I wanted, and I'm just gonna go and copy this, and then I'm gonna go out and bullet point this. So boom, we see here that now I have a description, and it has, again, it talks about the hoodie, the best parts about it, and it just gives the customer, they know exactly what the size is, exactly what the wash is, how to wash it, what it's made of, all those little small things is what you wanna have in this description section. So boom, for the shipping tab, we're gonna do just as such. We're just gonna talk about whatever your shipping time is. You can use this template right here. If you wanna just pause this video and screenshot that, but you see, it said please allow 3 to 7 business days for shipping, and timelines may vary. And then just talk about anything else specifically that they may need for your shipping. Again, that's what your customer's looking for. Now for the return section, again, just make sure you outline what your returns are. So it can be free shipping on unopened, unworn items, ship back within 30 days, or if you don't have a return policy, totally cool. Just make sure you list that out and let them know. Now, once you have those 3 columns, again, you have the description highlighted, you have your shipping clearly stating the processing times, and you also want to talk about the free shipping threshold. It's really good to make sure you mention that. So here I would go back and I can talk about free shipping over 90. I may want to put this first. Again, if a customer sees free shipping over, $90 or $100, whatever your free shipping threshold is, it may incentivize them to buy maybe 2 of these hoodies rather than, just the one. Again, making them spend more. That's what it's all about with the website, is making people spend more, buy more often, and come back and keep buying. Now for the returns, we want to, again, make it simple. Make sure that we mention, hey, it must be unwashed and unworn to return for an exchange or, for store credits or whatever. Most of the time, product's going to be unopened. Customers aren't going to ship it back. So you're not going to have to process a lot of returns anyway. And that is it. That is the main structure that you need for an actual product page to be high converting. A product page just like this, I promise you, would convert, right? If you're running the proper traffic with your marketing, and as long as they have the outlines and details of exactly what they're looking for and you're outlining that, something like this will convert. Now you can go in obviously and, massage it. Maybe you want to make this headline a little bit smaller. Maybe you want to bring up the actual size of this, pricing. Maybe you want to make that a little bit bigger. Maybe you want to make this a little bit smaller. Maybe you want to go through and kind of tweak it to make it, your exact thing. Maybe change the, size of the text or size of whatever. That's fine. Maybe change the colors of stuff. That's perfectly fine. But make sure you have all of these elements in there. Add a logo, even add a headline if you need to, an announcement, maybe announcing that free shipping, threshold to incentivize your customers to buy more. And you have a solid website. Now, we're going to talk about something, again, to increase that AOV that we were talking about earlier. I'm going to show you guys what apps you should download to really make this website go to the next level. And there's honestly really 2 solid apps that I'm going to recommend, at least in this video, to increase not only your AOV, but also your returning customer rate. to get your customers to buy again and again and again. Now, the first one is what I would call fast bundle. Right? You're going to use this for upsells and value discounts like this. And I'm going to show you an example of Gymshark, a brand that's doing $1 billion, has done over $1 billion in revenue. It's the same thing that they have to increase their AOV. So when you add to cart after you select the item, you get to see how fast bundle works. You have this, bar here that lets customers know, hey, you need to spend a little bit more money to be able to get free shipping. If you spend 75, you get free shipping. And then it gives them an extra place where they can go in and add an extra item to make sure they get qualified for that free shipping. And it's like a game. It's gamifying it, making your customer want to spend more. And again, it increases the AOV so customers are buying more. I would recommend Fast Bundle for that. It's a great price and it's 1000% worth it. I'm not even sponsored by these guys. I just think the site and app is pretty good. Now, the one you should use for email and abandoned carts is a site and app called Klaviyo. Okay, now you can go in, set up SMS, you can set up emails, and you can send these out. And it even starts you out with some really good templates. But that way you increase your returning customer rate, you're getting customers back that abandoned cart, and you're getting customers to come back and buy again that may have not bought a second or third time. And after that, that is it. That's exactly how you build a Shopify website in 2026 from start all the way to finish, from Shopify sign up to the product, to making a home page, to designing your product page, all the way to even downloading the bonus apps that I would recommend. Again, if you want some one-on-one help, now that you have your website on maybe getting consistent sales or how to figure out your marketing or how to figure out how to design better products, you can apply for my one-on-one mentorship where we help clothing brands scale out to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K months all the time. Link down in the description. I hope this video helped. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.